Hello, today we're going to learn how to remove an object from a shot using camera projection in Nuke. And here you can see the example that we will be working on. So let's jump into Nuke. And I will first remove the projection setup so we can go through this together. And what remains here is just the camera tracking, and you can watch my other lessons on camera tracking to learn how to do this setup. So let's look at the scene that we already have. So this is a camera and two cards for the wall and for the floor and the cube. So let's begin and look at the plate. So what we are going to do is to remove the part that is overlapping the wall and the part that is overlapping the floor separately. So I will start by disabling the floor card, and we are going to do a projection first on the wall. So let's find a frame that shows as much as possible of the wall, and that is the first frame. So I go to frame 1001. And now press tab and type project 3D. And this node needs a camera input and the image to project. So for the camera we are going to use a fixed camera on frame 1001. So press tab and type FrameHold. And here frame 1001. And then connect this to the camera and to the input of the projection. And we also need to do the same with the image to project. So here I am going to do another frame hold on the same frame. So just copy this one and connect that to the plate. So now we have the plate at frame 1001 as well as the camera for frame 1001. And if we connect this to our wall card and look at the scene, then you can see that it is projecting the wall image onto the wall card. And if we look at the result, then it looks exactly the same. But if we go to another frame, you can see, let me jump forward a bit here so it's more obvious. You can see that the wall stays on frame 1 and everything else is moving. So we need to paint out this part of the box so we have a clean wall. So for that we are going to use a RotoPaint. So press tab and type RotoPaint. And connect this after the frame hold for the plate. And now we can do some roto. So use the clone stamp and let's see, take a bit larger brush. And this you will have to spend more time yourself to make it cleaner, but I will just do a quick roto for now. Okay, so now we have something that is kind of a clean wall. So let's look at this result. Now you can see that the wall is clean and the box is removed from that part. Okay, it seems the viewer is... Okay, we also need to make sure that this roto is done on all frames. So if we select the strokes, and the life will need to be all frames. And now you can see that the wall is clean on all frames. So now we are already halfway done. And we need to do the same thing for the floor. So let's look at the plate and find a frame where we have a lot of the floor visible. So I think we can use the last frame. And we use the same procedure. So we make a projection node, tab and project 3D. And we do a FrameHold. I will copy the previous one and use frame 1081. That is the last frame. And connect this to the camera, and we also connect this to the projection. And then we copy this FrameHold and connect it to the plate and connect the output to the second projection. And then we connect that projection also to the second card. And I will disable the first card for now so we can see what we are doing on only the floor. So let's look at this result. And again, it's exactly the same. But if you go to a different frame, then you can see. Let me just hide this cube as well. Okay. So here you can see that now the box is kind of flattened out on the floor. So we need to paint out this using a RotoPaint again. So type tab and RotoPaint and put this after the FrameHold. Let's see. There is the FrameHold. So put this here, and then we have to paint out the box from the floor. And this you will have to spend quite a lot of time, so I will just do something quick here. It will not be so nice, but just to show the principle. Okay, it's quite fiddly work, so that's too much. Okay, take this out. So you should try to follow the lines in the floor. Okay. You can see this is not perfect, but it will show the principle. So let's assume this is a clean looking floor, and you will have to spend more time on it yourself. And now let's look at this projection. So it is not, we still have to change the lifetime again on this to be all frames. And now this should be removed from the plate. Okay, so I also have some keyframing to fade this in and out for the demo, so it is a little bit half transparent in this case. And let's enable the other as well and look at the scene. And now you can see that we have this part now with the wall and the floor clean. And you want to possibly cut out to only have the part that is needed, so you don't replace too much of the original. And let's look now at this result. And this is including some fade I added just for the demo. So this will take a moment to cache. So just hold on a bit here. It's a bit slow, but I think you want to see the result we got, so I'm going to wait for this to finish. Okay. So halfway there, so just a little bit more, and soon we can see what we got. Okay. Okay, and let's show this in full screen. And this is what we did now together. And I removed the outline, so in this case we don't have this glow. I hope this was helpful, and see you next time. Over and out.